Pastor Bishop Earl Carter. Listen, I wrote a book some years ago, and the title of the book, No Apology Necessary. And it answers questions like, why is there disparity between whites and blacks? Was slavery in America prophesied about in the Bible? How can blacks and whites find healing and closure? What about the origin of prejudice in America? Can blacks and whites live in harmony? Oh, yes. You know, this is Black History Month. Yeah, February, Black History Month. We're going to give the biblical account of slavery. And the question is, was the white man existential, that is, independent of any influence, especially God? And we want to deal with who sent the ships. Oh, my God. I want everybody to subscribe to Earl Carter, 7,000 Club. And we want you to know the truth. And the truth will make you free. All right, so starting tomorrow, I'm going to be dealing with the subject of my book, No Apology Necessary, and who sent the ships. And just to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to deal with the subject of racism, where did it come from, and how can we really find healing and closure? Talk about my black experience, that I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, where you still have the relics of your slavery past. And my brother and I, we were leisuring one day, and well, when he told me about the history of the relics of our slavery past, like the slave market, and in the Battery Park, you have what you call a holding cell for the slaves to come up to be auctioned off. I'm talking about Charleston, South Carolina. And my heart was irritated. I was an angry black man. Not only angry, but we were violent against white people, period. And let me say this to you. What I'm trying to get us to come to is the maturation of Joseph. You know, Joseph was sold by his brothers. And of course, Joseph said when he was reconciled with his brothers, he said, don't even be grieved. Don't even be upset with yourself. And he says that what you meant for evil, God meant it for good. And so we need to get to that point of maturation. And I got a little book that I've been reading, and it talked about a new slavery. A new slavery. For instance, when we talk about slavery, you know, it's not just as far as being enslaved by the white man, but you can be enslaved by hatred. Yes, and I was a slave. I was a slave to my anger. I mean, not only was I angry with the white man, I was angry with black folk too. Now watch this. Bondage. We got a lot of folks that's angry. And, you know, how we going to get past the impasse? And this book, we're going to deal with our bondage. Romans 8:15, you know, that when you're in bondage, you're in servitude, captivity, subordination, control, dominance, that is domination, legalism, ignorance, fear, rejection, self-rejection, fear of rejection, hatred, bitterness, unforgiveness, destruction, self-destruction, poverty, lack, debt. And we need to break the curse of slavery, the mentality of slavery of the American, African American. Hatred of the white man. Black people hating white people hating black people, fear of white and black people coming together, bitterness toward white and bitterness toward black people, slave master mentality, and rebellion and stubbornness and even sorrow and sadness and despair and hopelessness, despondency, frustration and confusion, destruction of the family and priesthood, and that is curse on the males, and Ahab, Jezebel, and sexual impurity and sexual immorality, vagabond, wandering, and have a plantation mentality, slave mentality, and failure, racism and prejudice and isolation, rage and murder, and then addiction to drugs and alcohol. You can be a slave to all these things that I just mentioned. But during this Black History Month, I'm going to get into some heavy stuff, so put your seatbelts on. We're getting ready to go for a ride. And I'm telling you, for instance, we're going to deal with, oh my God, you know, this book has taken me to the University of Mississippi, University of also Tennessee and Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Baker's University out in Kansas. And I was on the 700 Club. They interviewed me, and also we did a program on TBN. But now we have a worldwide platform. And so I believe this is the Kairos, and that is the season for this book and for the message. All right? So we're going to go into it now. Alex Haley did a good job talking about roots, but he didn't go far enough. He went to the jungle. But our beginning was not in the jungle. Our beginning was in the beginning. Oh, my God. I'm going to prove all of that. And the origin of the races, ancient powers of Egypt and Ethiopia, the biblical account of slavery, and who sent the ships. Wow. Prophecy against the black man today. Prophecy continue, the black man, and that is part 2. The prophecy continue toward the black man today. Christianity's answer to Farrakhan, and healing of the black man. Prophecy continued. Irritated heart of the white man, healing of the white man, healing in the church. No apology necessary, just respect, then coming together. So we want to come to the point where we can find healing and closure. And then during the course of this series of lessons, we want to defang, and we want to neutralize the N-word. And I think I found something in the Bible that's going to neutralize the N-word. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. And I'm willing to say stuff that nobody else is willing to say. So stay tuned, and I want you to subscribe to this channel, and also order this book, No Apology Necessary. You will never be the same. One pastor said he read this book. He said it was the most profound book he have ever read, and he wanted to teach a lesson in his church. And I told him, go ahead. We got to get this truth out. Truth will make you free. So I want you to subscribe and go to earlcarter.com, earlcarterministry.com, and order this book so you can follow me as I teach on these subjects. And the video will be titled, Who Sent the Ships? Oh my goodness. I got scriptures for everything I'm talking about. You will never be the same. Never be the same. So I'm going to take a break from my usual attack on homosexuals in the church and hypocrites and liars and all of that. You know, preachers killing their wives and and they're in the pulpit switching. One died in the hotel of drugs. And I mean, it's just too much. But I want to get into Black history. And one preacher on the YouTube, he's just loud and ignorant, talking about black folk haven't done anything. And oh man, listen, I can't wait to get into it. I'm gonna start tomorrow. I just want to make sure this YouTube was working right. Now I got some knowledge on it now, so I'm gone. That's right. And I read all these books. I'm a reader. I love to, I'm a serendipitous, prone to discover reader. And so stay tuned. We're going to have a time. And until tomorrow, until next time, all you wicked folks, have a bad day.